sometime, somehow, we will be punished. Punished?
Alright, so I've been talking about how the fourth dimension is the dimension of concepts, and I know that some people may view me as insensitive because I'm denying the possibility of the fourth dimension being time. But that's always been in the back of my mind. Like, we've been conditioned by society into believing that the fourth dimension is time. So, in all honesty, I have been integrating the information and knowledge that I've been attaining from the higher dimensions and have been molding it to fit around time as the fourth dimension. So, basically, if time were the fourth dimension, then the fifth dimension would be the dimension of concepts, and then the sixth dimension would be the conglomeration of 5D concepts. How this would work is that basically time is that construct holding together reality, shifting everybody or resonating everyone moment to moment. So time would perfectly well be a fourth dimensional concept, like I already view it as a fourth dimensional concept. But if you want to view time as the only fourth dimensional concept, then what the fifth dimensional concepts are entities outside of the concept of time. So that actually does make a lot of sense, because if my consciousness is just me outside of the confines of time, then in all honesty, yes, the fourth dimension could very well be the dimension of time, while the fifth dimension is the dimension of all other concepts. I am honestly open to that possibility, because my whole goal is to try and break out of the confines of time after all. But at the same time, I view all the concepts to be at the same level as time, because they're all showing themselves to me in the same manner that time did. Like, all of these concepts seem to have enough respect for one another and me to show themselves to me, but I still view them as fourth dimensional concepts, if that makes sense to you. Like, I know that I was trying to say that the fourth dimension could possibly be time, and if that were the case, then the fifth dimension of concepts would be just concepts outside of the confines of time. But as I said before, it's hard for me to not view the fourth dimension as the dimension of concepts, because if you want to believe that all the 5D concepts are outside of the 4D concept of time, then that would mean that we are all interacting with one another on the outside of time, in a similar manner to the way that we're interacting with one another down here. Because it would all mirror each other. It's so silly. Like, I know that in my comments I may seem closed-minded, but I'm honestly accepting what you guys are saying, like whatever you guys recommend. If anybody manages to find this video from a comment I've made where they disagreed with me and then they just want to talk smack on my other videos, like, so be it. It helps the engagement at least, but this is for the people as of late who have been trying to tell me that the fourth dimension is time. It does sort of make sense, because if the fifth dimension of concepts interact with humanity via consciousness, then what is happening is that these 5D concepts are interacting with the 4D concept of time in order to implant themselves within the time stream and interact with us 3D humans. But then at the same time, if we are 3D, we must belong to something 4D. You know what I'm saying? That's why I see us as 3D entities, and I see the fourth dimension as the dimension of concepts. Because if you give yourself to a religion, like for an example, a religion or politic, many people will give themselves to that same religion or politic. So religions and politics are 4D entities, and the 3D humans that believe in the religion or politics are their 3D vessels, their 3D fragments. That is just one way for me to explain it, because the way that I want to explain it is that everybody belongs to a 4D concept of themselves. This 4D concept of themselves actually could be seen as their God, I guess you could say, because this 4D version of themselves houses all possible 3D fragments of them. So say you, the person listening to my video right now, has access to your 4D self. This would mean that, yes, you yourself have access to the 4D whole, but there could possibly be other 3D fragments of you out in the multiverse that do not tune into that same 4D concept. So you may have your initial consciousness, but the other versions of you in this or not this reality in particular, but within this multiverse, those versions of you could be giving themselves to religions, could be giving themselves to politics. It doesn't really matter what the hell they give themselves to. They're not the real you. The real you probably isn't even the one watching this video. But I actually have hope that anyone that makes it to this video more than likely has access to their initial consciousness. I guess that's what the algorithm has been trying to tell me. It's only going to reach a specific set of people. Sadly, I can do everything I want to try and alter the algorithm, like, in my favor, but it's not going to be that easy. And I just need to accept that. I just got to play my role and hope this world changes the way that I need it to. But yeah, you guys are all 3D fragments of something bigger, something much bigger. And yeah, you can see the fourth dimension as the dimension of time, but if you see the fourth dimension as the dimension of time, then what are you as a 3D fragment to the 4D concept of time? Where does everything in this reality come into play? Like, how about religions? What about politics? I would really love to hear your interpretation, because everything in this video has been from my mind, just stuff I've been getting and stuff I've been theorizing. But if I can get an outside perspective on this matter, it would be honestly very cool, because then I could work on expanding my perception without the use of plant tools, you know? That's really what I want from this channel. I just want people to put out their ideas, because in all honesty, we all have something to offer. That's the coolest part about this experience. We're all 3D fragments of something bigger, so we all have something to offer one another. We've just got to be open to what other people have to say. And in all honesty, if you guys have a compelling argument as to why time itself could be the fourth dimension, I'm more than open to it, because if I don't have access to a 5D conglomeration and it's actually a 6D conglomeration, then that would actually be pretty silly, because I've been trying to deny the sixth dimension for a while now because I want to take care of this experience first. But if I just had to learn that I'm already in the 6D, then that would just be really silly. Well, hope you guys have a good one, and remember to stay safe out there.